So we have a bit of a problem in the business today. We have been in beta for about 5 months, about 50 beta invites that we have sent out, 2 to 3 active users, but the harsh reality is that the majority of people try it once, maybe twice, and don't come back. Going a startup and trying to build a product that people want. And so as a founder, that is my duty to uncover what that is, how we fix those problems, and how we actually make the tool valuable for people. And so in this video, I'll talk a little bit more about how I'm looking at it, how I'm going about it, so you can get an understanding of what kind of things we're going to do move forward. I'm not entirely sure what the problems are, but I do have a few hypotheses that I think might be some of the issues that we're facing and why people are not sticking around with the product. The first one that comes to mind is that I think our positioning is a bit off. It's clearly not resonating with people or designers because of the fact that it doesn't say anywhere on the product that it is a beta, that people don't have access to it, that they have to receive an invite. And it gets visitors, right? Like in the last 30 days, we got a few hundred visitors and probably only had about 5 to 7 people that signed up. And so that clearly tells me that, hey, there's something wrong about the messaging. It's not reaching the right people. It's not big enough of a problem. And something on our website is just not clicking and resonating with people, especially because right now it is a completely free tool and there's no paid service to it. And so to me, that's the first hypothesis. Something is clearly wrong with it in the way it's positioned and framed to people, and it is preventing a roadblock in getting people to sign up. Next up, I think it might just not be reaching the right people. I think originally going into this, I thought maybe designers are the target audience for this, but maybe they're not. I'm not sure. Like maybe it ends up being a product manager or a founder that ends up being the one that finds most value in this. I did it because I am a designer myself and I've faced this at many companies, and that stemmed the whole idea of Ralee and this being a QA tool to help designers get better outcomes. But in reality, maybe this early on, those aren't the ones that are finding value in it. And so that could be another piece, is that it's not actually resonating with people because it's the wrong audience. Thank you. And maybe that comes too with getting a little older too, is like you appreciate a little bit more of the routine and the stability and stuff. It hasn't been too bad because it hasn't been that far away, but you know, it's more, I think, just having like a stable home base, I think, is probably what I miss more than I thought I would, I should say.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the challenging, because I guess that would technically be like product market fit, right? It's like finding that is like really hard. The next one is possibly the one that I wouldn't want to be the case. The product is just not good enough right now to where people would adopt it because maybe there's security issues, maybe it's missing some key features. Number of reasons why, but that is another hypothesis, that maybe the product just is not up to par yet with what teams need and designers need. So those are some of the early hypotheses of why potentially some of the product is not working and it's not getting adoption right now. But most likely, out of everything, it is probably just a distribution problem and it's not in front of the right people. So we fell asleep before we finished filming the video after we got some steak at the Meat Emporium last night. So here we are, we're back to film. So let's get into the rest of the video. So if I'm being completely honest with myself, a lot of this stuff has been on me. It has been very challenging with traveling and going from place to place to really find a good rhythm, and it's been extremely challenging to try to get on a good time and find a time with customers and people and prospects in the US, because there is a very, very small time window and pocket where I can actually meet with people. And so that's part of been some of the hiccup that we faced, but that's no excuse on why we shouldn't be getting on customer discovery calls. In reality, I just have not done a good job of sitting and uncovering what the true pain points are, how people are going about their QA today, what the different team dynamics are. I think I've done a really bad job of that. I did a lot more in the beginning, but once we started getting into the building, we relaunched the beta. I kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit on some of that stuff, and that's kind of been, I'm guessing, a little bit of the downfall of it, and that's just the harsh reality. I think there's so much more that if somebody were to come to me and say, hey, or I go to like a business advisor and say, hey, what would you recommend that I do? How can we get users on there? How can we do, et cetera, like I'm feeling a little bit of lack of momentum. I think I already know the answers that they would give me. And so that's part of the problem, I think. And so I'm just not going to give up, and we're going to go and try to fix some of these problems. And there's a handful of things that I think that I could do that will be able to help project Ralee forward, moving forward. And it all starts with really understanding who the target user is. I think going into this, I assumed that it is going to be designers, but I really need to figure out, is that actually true? Or is it potentially product managers? Is it design managers? Is it a founder at a startup? Is it a design director? Is it a head of product? There's so many specific roles that it could be within a business or organization that without getting super specific on who that user is and who's going to be the one that adopts it, it's going to be really hard to market and position to that said person, because it's shooting a little bit too vague and too broad of a net to be able to actually hone in and really talk that person's pain point or language. Also need to uncover what type of business it is. Is it a startup? Is it maybe an enterprise, even though I assume going into this that it's not? Or is it a medium-sized business with that like 200 to 7,000 people, or whatever you want to call it, whatever that threshold is, probably 500 to 2,000. Maybe it's a medium-sized business. I think a lot of that needs to be uncovered, and that comes from more and more discovery calls. And then maybe it's like myself, where there is freelancer or a consultant where you work with 2 to 3 clients maybe, and potentially are running through and doing some QA for them and helping them with that part of the process if you are truly embedded in helping them out. And you use this as an extension of your own self to be able to provide feedback and things like that to the developers on their team. But some of those things we got to start to uncover. So I've created a little bit of an action plan here for myself so that I can take all these things that are struggling and hopefully fix them. It is nowhere near perfect, but these are kind of the few things that I'm going to do to make sure that progress gets made forward and we uncover some of the issues that we're facing and hopefully are able to solve the problem of distribution and people using the tool more and more. The first one is super obvious. It is reaching out to people every single week. The minimum is going to be reaching out to 3 to 5 people and uncover what their pain points are, how they're using Ralee today. I want to know when they came to the tool, why do they only use it once and leave? Is it they don't need enough QA? Is it they didn't find value in it? Are they just doing it to be nice because they knew me personally? I really want to know what prevented them from coming back, and if they did use the tool once and then leave, was it something that was missing? Was it not big enough of a pain point for them to want to use it? A number of things, but really the key piece here is I want to understand why they only use the tool once and talk to people every single week.
I'm all that. I'm bragging that I know how to get what I want. So.
And with part of those outreaches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find and identify design teams. I'm going to try to find those decision makers on the design teams and say, hey, would love it if you can have this free membership to Ralee. All I ask is that you provide feedback as you use it. I really want to understand how they're doing QA today, how they're getting designs implemented properly, and get a better understanding of how their team operates. I don't even want money for the subscription to the tool. I just want to give it away as goodwill so I can uncover as much information as possible and really start to figure out how I can take the tool from being a nice to have to a must have. It's one of the hardest things possible as a tool, as a startup, is to really get to that product market fit. And so the last one here is going to be each month we're going to test a new distribution method. 1 month we're going to try a newsletter. The next month we're going to go really heavy on X. The next month we may do triple the cold outreach. The next month we'll pay for a sponsorship post on like a platform that designers visit regularly. Another one we may try to write long-form blog posts, but really the key piece here is that we're going to be trying a whole bunch of different things so that we can start to see, are any of these providing effective methods of getting people on the tool and the distribution of that. Another one obviously being using influencers in the space. And so we're going to be trying a different kind of method each month for the next 6 months and kind of see which one produces the best outcome, because the number one priority here is distribution and understanding why people aren't using the tool. And you kind of have to do both to be able to get the results that you want. You have to distribute it and also learn. It's not perfect, but this is just kind of my best guess on how we can continue to improve the tool and make it better. And I don't know if this is all going to work, but it's sure as shit going to get us closer to the goal of getting more and more people on, getting more feedback, and ultimately, hopefully getting to some MRR here. But that's not the main goal, but we'll see if it works. And the bonus part is, in about 2 weeks, we are going to be launching on Product Hunt here. And so hopefully that gives us a pretty good influx of users. We'll be able to collect a bunch of data, get a bunch of fresh people on there, and get some fresh feedback, because a lot of the users on our platform now are what we would consider stale. And so hopefully in a new influx of people will help to, help me be more on top of getting feedback early on in the process. So hopefully this gives you a little insight, a little bit of a raw reality of where we're at with our tool. This whole process is me building in public, sharing the journey, and talking about the struggles that we are facing, because it happens. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Peace. And if you're a designer, will you please try out this motherfucking tool and give me some feedback? I'm not building this for nothing. I'm building it for you. So go try out Ralee.co today. Bye.